speaking of rain, Kobe's had the most rain affected, most weather affected game. Delaware took on University of Albany, and again, a situation where Kobe, this black man lives in Delaware. Yes, there are black people that live in Delaware that are not at Delaware State, and Kobe is one of them. So he does a great job, covering that part of the country. Even going down to Maryland and Virginia as well. And so, yeah, man. So he's been covering Del State back in the
2021.
Lee Hull.
No, Rod
Milstead.
Yeah, Coach Milstead. Cool brother.
We need to come up with that HBCU football Jeopardy right there.
Yeah. How many coaches has Delaware State had? So, yeah, man. So he's been covering that. And so he's been, covering DeSean Jackson since he got there, and went to the first game against UDEL. Had to deal with some SID BS. Maybe we'll talk about that on another episode of the Road Warriors. Names redacted. Yeah, but just talk to us about the atmosphere, man, and talk to us about that not one, not two, but a 3-hour rain delay before DeSean Jackson got his first win.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. So I went down there early. I was down there about 10 o'clock because I knew they were going to make some adjustments. And so I wanted to get down there early. And I thought I was being cute and parked far away. Well, nah, it was a bad move. But actually, when you get there, they were really ramped up. They had a lot of people there for the cookouts. The tailgates, which is unusual. And so what I would like to say is that it wasn't like a homecoming atmosphere, but there were more people there. And Delaware State is unique. It has a smaller stand size on the home side. It's larger on the away side. But it was a beautiful day. Actually, I got a little browner because before the rain delays, it was hot. When you got there, it was 85, 90 degrees. It was hot. The sun was beaming. And I wanted to mention that Delaware State is really, really a new school at this point for me. After watching it for 4 years, the organization was better. The amenities they had for the athletes were better. They were really ready to rock and roll this game. And they even had some new technology with the scoreboard and everything else. So, and I know people saying it's the Jack era, but I don't know what Tony Tucker is doing right now. But he's getting the school ramped up, and they're really investing in Delaware State, and DeSean Jackson is definitely a beneficiary of that, but also they're a beneficiary of him. And what I mean by that is that the team was ready to play. The energy, the swag, they definitely pick up the swag from their coach. I just couldn't. It was a surprise to me to have the Delaware State players talking stuff, ready to play. They were disciplined. I know they got a lot of penalties. In both games, they got a lot of penalties in prime position. But I'm telling you this is a different Delaware State all around the board. How people have bought in, how the AD is available and he's around, and the team is ready to rock and roll. You got Clinton Portis on the sideline. Those running backs, Lee Hall didn't really play a lot of players from Delaware, but you got Marquis Gillis from Milford, Delaware, which is probably 20 minutes from the school. And he looks like a grown man. And also they got like a thunder and lightning going on. And in the game, when you see they were hitting them out, one of the first plays of the game was a big play. They were down 7-0. They came back to play. And the one thing I wanted to bring up real quick was, their band is even a different energy. We know they got the new band director, but that band is ready to rock and roll, man. I'm telling you, some people need to be scared in the MEAC of what Delaware State is going to bring, man, because the energy is there. The energy is there. You laughing at me, Wally?
I'm laughing at Steve zooming himself out with the questionable face. That was what I was laughing at. He zoomed himself out to give the face.
I've been dealing with the Steve hate for a long time about these teams that I find affinity for. But You know, the one thing
it was the band comment that did it for me.
Oh yeah, nah, it surprised me. You know, like I you know, Wally, you know, I like my North. I've never been a fan of Delaware State band, but I definitely seen it there. I got a few clips I'm gonna post on IG. The musicality, as they like to call it, and I might be wrong. You know, I got cussed out for a Hampton and Morgan article, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, they were on you, man. They were on.
I know, but the intensity is different.
Everybody take our creds and everything, man.
No,
they got to kick us out of the band of the year, off the band of the year.
And they told me stop writing articles if I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
I think I published that one. I remember that. Now that you mention it.
Like everything around the sports and stuff is very, very different. And you know, like I talked to you, Wally. I told you, Steve, about people talking about DeSean Jackson, and that it was the way he approached coaching was very different than what people expected. And the team is disciplined. Coach Jackson is disciplined. I mean, he's going to be who he is, and he hasn't lost who he is, but he takes his job very seriously. And I've always told people once from the spring game that they were going to be a different team. But even in this, you could tell they came to fight. There was one time they were down. The guy, Albany, just scored a touchdown. And it was number 5. I don't know if it was a wide receiver DB. I'm not sure. But he was screaming at his team at the top of his lungs. Not in a negative way, in a positive way, leading them going. That's something I had never seen on the Delaware State sideline. I had Delaware State players standing on tables, getting the fans involved. That's something I had never seen from a Delaware State football team before. So, you know, the energy, the swag, and the willingness to not give up is something like they're going to have some problems. And they play like that. In my personal opinion, they outplayed University of Delaware. They beat them up physically on the front. The biggest problem they have is that their defensive backs, they killed them versus the University of Delaware. They killed them yesterday against the University of Albany, and they can't get a pass rush. Now, if they get a pass rush and they get some pass blocking, people got problems because Caden Bennett is the truth. He got wheels and he can throw. He just needs some time to get those things together. And I'm gonna tell you, Marquise Gillis is a big man. He's what they call him. He's a whole grown man. And I'm telling you, I love the energy that was there. Now Steve is going to fuss because there was a 7-hour rain delay. And after being there till 10 o'clock, I'm in the car like, Steve, I got to go, bro. And then when the rain hit, I'm like, I just saw lightning twice and the rain hit. And I'm in Delaware. I ain't taking and getting blown into the creek, bro. He talked me off the cliff. I sit there till about 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, I had to go. I seen people leaving. There was nobody in the stands. It was nothing happening. And I rolled out and had to call somebody to get some of the clips to finish out the one clip of his 27-yard run. But yeah, the weather, they had 3 weather delays, I believe, but it was 7 hours. It was from 4 o'clock to the game was 7 hours. The rain delay started at 4. They got back on the field. And check this out. They had
in the fourth quarter too.
Huh?
It was in the fourth quarter too.
Yes, no, I was about to tell you. So what happened was a 10-minute injury timeout where they had to take a player off the field. And if he wouldn't have got hurt, we would have been and beat the rain delay. But it was 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They came back. Delaware State was down. They came back after 30 minutes. They played 2 minutes of the game. Delaware State on the 44. They shut the game down again. They didn't get back on, and it was 5 o'clock. They didn't get back on the field till almost 8:15. And I was so mad.
Second delay. That's when I'm backing it up. That second delay. I'll wait for that first. That second.
I feel you. See. First off, Kobe, I'm gonna shout out to you because I wasn't gonna mention that you left. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna let it slide. You know, we got what we needed. You know, because I get it. You know, again, Kobe. You know, he is this brother. I joke about him living in Delaware, but he's a a full-time teacher. He's a full-time dad. He coaches football and lacrosse and all the other sports, so he's a busy guy, man. He helps us out a whole lot. And we appreciate him as everybody on the team, man. We really do. And so, he gonna get paid, he gonna be paid regardless. So look, I admire him for sticking out that long as it did.